Well, hello. It is 6 o'clock on Thursday night, so that means it's time for some pajama stories. We won't call it bedtime per se because it's not quite bedtime yet, but here are some fun stories we can share to wind down our day. As always, I really like a funny story. So tonight we're going to read 3 stories. I have, the first one is going to be funny. It's called Good Night Owl. And then I have another one called Jabari Jumps, and this one is about really trying your hardest to learn something new. And the last one is kind of our wind down book called Brave. And I love this book, so I hope you'll stay with me for this one. So let's get started. If you joined me at all for Silly Stories in the earlier part of the week, we read The Watermelon Seed, and so this is the same author, and it's just as silly as The Watermelon Seed, and I just love it. So it's Good Night Owl by Greg Pizzoli, and pay very close attention. This mouse is important. You're going to look for him on every page, and I'll do my best to try to show you the book just as best as we can on this small phone. Okay? So, Good Night Owl. So this is a going to bed book. And here we are. Okay. Owl was settling into bed when he heard a noise. Squeak! Where do you suppose the noise is? It's coming from under the bed. All right. It was a tiny sound, no louder than a whisper, a funny noise he hadn't heard before. Someone must be at the door, said Owl. Just a minute. Okay, so who is it? You see him? There's the mouse. So, do you think Owl sees this mouse? I don't think so. So, right. He went to the door, but no one was there. Probably the wind, said Owl. Yeah, probably, right? So here we go. As he lay down in bed and said to himself, "Good night, Owl." He's telling himself good night. Squeak! There, he heard the noise again. You guys see the mouse, right? Yeah, I see the mouse. Okay. It's coming from the cupboard, said Owl. So he went to take a look. Do you kiddos see the mouse? I see the mouse. He's right behind the cupboard, right over here. So silly. So Owl doesn't see him. So he emptied every shelf, but there was no noise to be found. Oh boy, look at the mess he's making. He just threw everything all over the floor. Oh my goodness. Such a silly owl. He is even emptying the waste paper basket. So, Owl went back to bed. Good night, Owl, he said. I really like how he tells himself good night. Do you see the mouse? Yep, he's right over here at the side of the bed. See if I can get this book oriented right. All right. And then he heard the noise. Squeak! Oh, there it is again. It must be under the floor, said Owl. Uh-oh. Do you think he is going to do something to the floor? You saw him make a mess with the cabinet. What do you think? Is he going to do it? Oh, let's turn the page and find out. So he doesn't see the mouse on the page, does he? All right, here we go. And he pulled up the floorboards one by one. Oh my goodness, can you believe this? He is pulling up the whole floor. What a mess. Oh my goodness, what a mess. Okay. Yeah, but he didn't find the noise. Do you see the noise? I see the noise. There's the noise. So, Owl went back to bed. Remember what he says to himself? Good night, Owl. Oh, I think this mouse noise is getting louder. The letters are getting bigger. Squeak! This house has a noisy roof, yelled Owl. Is it the roof, though? No. What a silly owl. He doesn't know where it is. He doesn't know what's going squeak. So he took down the roof. Oh, no. He ripped up his floor. He took down the roof. Do you see what he's doing? He is wrecking his house. What a silly owl. There, said Owl. No more noise. Yeah, but look at the mess, Owl. Owl got back into bed, the stars and the moon shining down on him where his roof used to be. Huh. Good night, Owl, he said. Do you kids see? There's the mouse right at the end of his bed. Did he need to take off the whole roof? Rip up the floor? Take apart his whole cabinet? He keeps missing this mouse. But Owl didn't close his eyes this time. He didn't dare. He knew that any second he would hear the noise. He waited and waited and waited and waited. Is he going to hear it? Are you ready for it? Squeak! It's in the walls, Owl screeched. Oh my goodness, what do you think is going to happen next? Is he going to rip down the walls? We know he ripped up the floor. We know he ripped down the roof. Uh-oh, let's turn the page and find out. Is he? Oh my goodness, look at that. And he's using a big sledgehammer. I'll get you, noise, Owl said, as he tore down the walls of his house. Oh, what a mess. Let's see what happens next. But he found nothing. The cupboard was empty. The floorboards were pulled up. The roof was pulled down and the walls were gone. Owl went back to bed. He said, "Good night, Owl." Do you see where the noise is? Where's our friend the mouse? There he is. And then he saw the noise. Squeak! Oh, Owl smiled. He said, "Well, good night, noise." Oh, so silly. And they went to sleep. Oh my goodness, how silly. He can see the stars. He's got a ripped up floor. He has no walls. He's just out there in his bed. But now he's got company. He finally found where that noise was coming from. If he had just looked, he would have had a friend at the very beginning. That was extremely silly. Who's on the back? Oh my gosh, it's the tiny mouse. And this time, instead of saying squeak, he's going shh. That was a very silly one. I do love a good silly book. And this is one of my favorite authors, Greg Pizzoli. All right, are you ready for a second book? I am. This is a new favorite of mine too. It's only a couple of years old, and it's been a favorite for a couple of years. And it is called Jabari Jumps by Gaia Cornwall. Let's see, what do you think he's doing? Where do you think he is? He's at the swimming pool. And look, he's up on the diving board. Not just any diving board, though. Look, a diving board with a big, tall ladder. Okay, let's see. Jabari jumps. He's getting his bathing suit on. There he's got his swimming goggles, his bathing suit, his daddy and his sister. "I'm jumping off the diving board today," Jabari told his dad. "Really?" said his dad. The diving board was high and maybe a little scary. But Jabari had finished his swimming lessons and passed his swim test, and now he was ready to jump. Is anybody else out there taking swimming lessons this summer? Yeah, sometimes swimming can be tough to learn, and it takes a lot of bravery. "I'm a great jumper," said Jabari, "so I'm not scared at all." Jabari watched the other kids climb the long ladder. They walked all the way to the end of the board, as big as tiny bugs. Then they stood on the edge. They spread their arms and bent their knees and sprang up, 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 And then they dove down, down, down. Splash! See, there she is. She's practically flying in the air. Looks easy, said Jabari. But when his dad squeezed his hand, Jabari squeezed back. Sometimes when you're nervous, sometimes you squeeze your parent's hand. It's comforting. Think he's a little nervous? Would you be nervous? Jabari stood at the bottom of the ladder. He looked up. Wow, it's going to be pretty tall, isn't it? Look at all those rungs on the ladder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we can see. You can go before me if you want, he told the kid behind him. I need to think about what kind of special jump I'm going to do. Jabari thought, and all the other kids have gone ahead of him. Jabari started to climb, up and up. The ladder is very tall, he thought. Are you okay? Called his dad. Just a little tired, said Jabari. Maybe you should climb down and take a tiny rest, said his dad. A tiny rest sounded like a good idea. You know, sometimes when something is really challenging or really tricky to do, it's okay to back off and wait until you're ready. That's okay. Sometimes you have to think about it. And something like jumping off a big, tall diving board is pretty scary. So it's okay to be a little bit scared. So when he got to the bottom, Jabari remembered something. I forgot to do my stretches, he said to his dad. Stretching is very important, said his dad. I think tomorrow might be a better day for jumping, Jabari said. They looked up at the diving board together. What do you think? Is he going to do it today? I don't know. Let's turn the page. Let's find out. It's okay to feel a little scared, said his dad. Sometimes I feel a little scared. And I take a deep breath and tell myself I'm ready. And you know what? Sometimes it stops feeling scary and feels a little like a surprise. Jabari loved surprises. Should we take a deep breath together? Okay, let's turn the page. Jabari took a deep breath and felt it fill his body from the ends of his hair right down to the tips of his toes. Let's take another deep breath together. Ready? Jabari looked up. Oh, wow, look how tall that looks. And he began to climb up and up and up and up until he got to the top. Jabari stood up straight. He walked all the way to the end of the board. Oh boy, this is really getting scary now. His toes curled around the rough edge. Look how tiny everybody looks down in the pool because it's so high up. I love the way this is drawn because you are looking down as though you are Jabari. Artists are so clever. Jabari looked out as far as he could see. He felt like he was ready. I love surprises, he whispered. So he's telling himself that it's okay to have a little surprise, just like his dad said. Hey, before we turn the page, I wanted to show you. Look at all of these buildings. These buildings are made with paper with words on them. They're made from newspaper. So this book has paint and newspaper as its art. You can make art from anything. Oh, there he goes. He took a deep breath and spread his arms and bent his knees, and then he sprang up, off the board, flying. There he goes. And look, everybody down here they're encouraging him. Everybody's cheering for Jabari. You know, it's great when you do something really big for the first time. It's so nice when people cheer for you. Jabari hit the water with a splash. I have to hold my nose when I jump in too. Do you have to hold your nose? Yeah, I don't like getting water up my nose. I have never learned how to properly keep it out of my nose by breathing out. Well, there he goes. So he is splashing in too. There he goes. Down, down, down he went. And then back up. Whoosh. Look how happy he is. He did it. He did it. He did it. Jabari, you did it, said his dad. I did it, said Jabari. I am a great jumper. And you know what? What? Said his dad. Surprise, double backflip is next. Oh, wow. Do you think he's going to do it? Is he going to do a double backflip next? Wow, that would be something truly amazing. And that's the end. And there, they're going home after a great day, walking home from the pool. He worked up the courage. Taking a big leap is hard, but you can do it. You can do it. And I have one last book for us tonight. And this is called Brave. And I really love this one. And it's by Stacy McAnulty. And it says, every kid faces unique challenges, fears, and pressures, but every kid can be brave. I think right now, a lot of kids had to be very brave this spring. So let's read this because I think this book is for all of us. Here's our friend, A Brave Kid. Wow, look how creative he is. He's using a blanket for a cape, and he has a metal pan that he's attached paper wings to, and now he looks like he is a superhero flying. And I don't know if you can see this, if I get the book just right. Oh, there we go. He has a red wagon, and he's got it full of books. I love it. I wish I had a red wagon full of books, but I guess since I work in the library, I have just about a red wagon full of books. It's a great place to be. Okay, a brave kid. Brave kid seeks adventure. That's true. Brave kids do seek adventure, right? And you know what I love? Oh, look at this. They are finding adventure in books. So when you can't go very far away, you can always go very far away in a book. You can go to make-believe lands. You can go all over the globe in a book. If you can see, he's got his globe that he's looking at. And look at their awesome playhouse. It's a fort that they've built, and they have all kinds of wonderful things in there. A T-Rex and a plane, and all their books. So a brave kid seeks adventure, and a brave kid has super strength. Oh, what are they doing? Can you tell? It looks like this little girl is playing chess, which is a game, against a teacher, a big grown-up. And everyone is concentrating and cheering her on silently so that she's not distracted. I wonder who wins. I don't know. We don't find out. A brave kid has a courageous heart. Oh, what's happening in this picture? It's very hard to see in our lighting here, but what you can see is that a big brother is helping a little brother check to see if there's anything weird under his bed. And there isn't. So this kid is courageous. And this kid is courageous too because he asked for help. And he's okay. A brave kid leads the team. Oh, they're out for a hike, out in the woods, by a stream. And look, they have some ducks following them. They're out looking for adventure. She's got her binoculars so that she can find really cool things. And a brave kid never gives up. Look at this race. Wow, that's a lot of people cheering. I wonder who's winning. He looks like he might be winning. Whew. He's against grown-ups. Wow, good for him. And everyone else, they're brave and wonderful too because they're saying, you can do it. And they've got a sign that says, my hero. I love it. A brave kid answers the call. Oh, what's the call? Can you tell? The call means somebody called for help. Can you tell who called for help? It looks like it's this lovely old lady who has lost her kitty up in the tree, and the kids are working together to help get the kitten down. And this wonderful girl, she's comforting the older lady who has lost the kitty. What lovely kids. They are very brave. They're brave and wonderful to help out. A brave kid fights the toughest battles. Oh, this child looks like he's a bit sick. So he's bravely battling some kind of germs. He's got his cute doggie with him. Oh, This is I love this picture. Now, in it, it looks like this garden has been wrecked. And I don't know if you can see, but the garden seems to have been wrecked by these children. Should they just run away and pretend it didn't happen? No. So they haven't. They've come to tell the owner of the garden that what happened and that they're sorry. So a brave kid speaks for truth. So instead of running away, they said, "We're so sorry. This was an accident, but we wrecked your garden." And you know what? I think this lady probably appreciates that. A brave kid stands for justice. Oh, wow, this is a really cool picture. In it, all the kids are having lunch in the cafeteria, and it looks like one kid was bullying another child, and this child is telling the bully, "That's not okay. You can't do that. You have to be nice. You cannot be mean to other people." So instead of standing by, this person was letting her know it's not okay. It's just not okay. So that's brave. It takes a lot of bravery to do that. And a brave kid gets back up. Do you see what they're doing? They're having a soccer game. And it looks like maybe they've been on the ground a lot. Their uniforms are muddy, and maybe it's a tough game, but they're not going to give up. They're just going to keep playing, because sometimes you win some and sometimes you lose some. But it's brave to lose too, and that's okay. A brave kid stays calm when others are afraid. Let's see what's happening. I think they're having a camp out in their house. And it looks like the little sister is a bit afraid. Yeah, she's afraid, and even the dog, I think, is afraid. But the older sister is not afraid. I think that they might be afraid of creepy noises outside and this creepy-looking tree. But big sister's saying, "It's okay. It's just outside. It's just a tree." Sometimes you need a big sister to tell you things. Brave kids can save the world. Do you see what they're doing? You know what this reminds me of? And parents, you'll know this. This reminds me of Scituate's Ship Shape Day. That's the day in the spring where we go out and we clean up all the messes people have left behind wherever we can. And it's brave to do that because sometimes it seems overwhelming. Oh, we can't possibly pick up all the trash. But if everyone works together, you can do a really great job. Look at all the trash bags they've filled. And they're cleaning things up, and there's a duck. The duck has its head in the water, and its tail feathers are sticking out. A brave kid. So brave kids can save the world just by being. Brave. It takes a lot of courage to get on stage with your instrument and play. So we had some bravery with Jabari jumping off the tall, tall diving board, and we have brave kids in this book. And I hope that you enjoyed that one. I really, really love this book. It's Brave by Stacy McAnulty, and this book makes a great gift if you're looking to give a book as a gift sometime. Really like it. And those were our 3 stories, my friends, but if you'd like, I will end with an animal joke. So I've been telling the silly stories, story time folks, that, joke book reading counts as summer reading, and it can sometimes be a lot of fun to tell jokes to your family. So, all right, here we go. What do you get when you cross a shark and a cow? I don't know, but I wouldn't want to milk it. Oh. That's really silly. Let's do another one. One more. What do ducks eat with soup? Here's the duck. What do ducks eat with soup? Quackers. Oh my goodness, no. Oh, that's a terrible joke. It's so bad, it's funny. Instead of crackers, quackers, quack, quack. Okay, how about one more? And then we will end our silly bedtimes. Okay, where should you never take your dog? This is for grown-ups. Where should you never take your dog? A flea market. Oh my goodness, that is so silly. So dogs sometimes, they can get fleas, which are terrible little bugs that bother the dog. And a flea market is like a yard sale. Oh, that's so silly. Well, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed some of our funny stories tonight and our brave stories tonight, and join me next week at 6 o'clock for stories. And if you missed it tonight, you can still watch it on Facebook Live on our Facebook page, and I will also upload this to YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel now. That's one thing that we got started while we were all shut out of the library. And a reminder that you can still read Wish Tree, which is the community read aloud. That was a joint effort between the school system and the library. And we have Read for Beads is still going on. And if you want to track your hours of summer reading, you can install our app called Beanstack. You can visit our website to find out more about that. If you have trouble using that, we've made a tutorial for you to follow along to sign up. So thanks so much for joining me, and we'll read some more stories next week. All right, bye-bye.